nurture or nature? Are you born or made? And for me, I was born into this.
We never really had the money as a motivational factor. We just had a desire to make cartoons.
I tell you, when you come and look at your factory with 2/3 of your factory gone, the business gone, it's very, very difficult.
Your phone will be the only thing you'll have in your hand. It'll start your car, it'll pay your bills. In my mind, it's the biggest thing since the Industrial Revolution.
They want to see the white of your eye. In other words, they want to know the truth they're going to choke.
24 nominees, 24 stories of business excellence, all competing to become the EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2015.
I've been to mainly film festival awards, and I suppose the big ones being the Oscars, which, you know, is a fun evening, but it's very tense because there's an awful lot of losers in the room.
Animation company Cartoon Saloon was founded in 1999 by then college students Tom Moore and Paul Young. When Nora Toomey joined as co-director, the more affordable rent in their hometown of Kilkenny drew them to set up base there.
I was in college with Tom and Paul, and Tom had an idea for making a cartoon. So we came down, and of course it took us years and years to actually make the film, which became The Secret of Kells. But in the meantime, we did anything we could really to keep the lights on.
First work we were doing was stuff like CD-ROMs, if anyone remembers that, and slowly kind of graduated from that into doing like illustration for school books and commercials for TV. And of course, once we had commercials on TV, everyone thought we were legit and we were made.
We certainly learned very quickly how to make good projects, you know, because we focused on that. And then we had to just go out into the market and figure out, you know, where to sell this stuff and where to raise the money to make more.
The time invested in their very first feature, The Secret of Kells, was rewarded with an Oscar nomination. Now, Nora is directing their third.
It'd be nice, actually, even if you extend up here a little bit. Yep. We're making a project called The Breadwinner, which is a film set in Afghanistan. It's a co-production between Ireland, Luxembourg and Canada. Angelina Jolie is an executive producer on the project.
This is in Kabul.
Angelina Jolie is actually sponsored and has a school in Afghanistan for young girls as well, so this is very close to her heart. So it's a perfect project to have somebody of that status, I suppose, and awareness around the world.
It cost them between €5 and €8 million to produce an animated feature. So awards like their second Oscar nomination in 2014 for Song of the Sea are more than just a clap on the back.
That time. Finish up, you two. Oh. Are you all right?
I'm fine. It's fine.
Because animation is so labour intensive, we do have to think very internationally and think very globally, because we can't sell what we do just to Ireland. We don't want to let go of all that talent that we have and try to grow that talent. So we always have to be thinking of the next thing. We always have to think about 5 years down the road.
Cartoon Saloon has also scored a hit in its home city.
Yeah, so we're here at Kilkenny Castle. This is Butler Gallery. And they asked us to do an exhibition, which has been fantastic. So this is like an exhibition all about the whole production flow of Song of the Sea as a feature film. And it's been great. They've had about 15,000 people in already over a month, which is like a record for them in the gallery, actually.
Feature films really create awareness because of the Oscar nomination, and then subsequently helps us get in with the likes of Netflix to sell like Puff and Rock as a TV series. And Puff and Rock and TV series are really where the commercial return comes. And it's the licensing and the branding around that, hopefully over time will become much more profitable in the sense that we'll be selling products based around stuff we've already done.
This is where we're illustrating the final background, and it's also a chance for kids and people to learn how to draw the characters. You're doing a great job.
No,
yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, well, it's very good.
I never imagined running a business this size with the partners I have, which are fantastic. I always just was interested in drawing. So it's very important, actually, because drawing is where we all come from. We want to draw stuff.
Jack Dobson, along with his brother Jim, grew Dunbia from a family butcher shop in County Antrim into one of the biggest meat processors in the UK and Ireland, employing 4,000 people.
You're keeping well.
Oh, sure, I'm good. Oh, how are you keeping? Friend, you all right? I think it's all about people and relationship with people and respecting other people. And that's how I think this is why we've grown our business.
She won her calf show last year. She was unbeaten in her class last year.
This is a very important show for us because we get a lot of farmers' cattle from this area. Majority will be from Tyrone and from Anna. We like these local shows because this is our home link. It means more to us, the home from Northern Ireland. It means more to us because you know the people, you know everybody, the first name, and you know it makes a big difference. You know. And what do you think of this bull here now? We love cattle and animals. That was our passion. It's not a business you can learn to go to school to do like a traineeship. You can't do a traineeship. You either have it in your stomach or you haven't got it. I left school in 1966 and I joined my father to cattle deal. That was his business, was cattle dealing. I was not a very great student at school. I never liked school. I think my dad was a good man. He could get his point over without being very bullish, you know. I think he's a great influence to me.
In 1976, Jack moved from cattle dealing with his father to opening his own butcher shop with his brothers. Today, that single shop has grown into Dunbia, a company with a turnover of more than €1 billion.
I like when it's well presented, but not of the innovation of doing all the work of all the mustard this and pepper that. And I don't enjoy that, you know, but I enjoy when I see it in the packet, showing to the housewife, will she buy, what will she not buy? And I think product that's well packaged is a lot easier sold. A lot of stuff in our business is as good as your last delivery. You spend all that money and then the business can just go up and leave you. You have a lot of people that work for us as well, so you think they're jobs too, you know. It's all about hard work. I think our secret is our success is having our raw material. I think that's the main secret of our success, and the support of the farmers that we work with. I have a son there doing work in the gym as a son. There's two sons coming on, so it's good for them going forward. If it's leave it for them to work the rest, you know. So.
Morgan Browne is CEO of IT company IIS. Their software gathers all the management functions of a business into one key package. With 400 customers worldwide, IIS employ 100 people. But it was all so different the first time Morgan ventured into business.
My first business was a disaster, probably from the get-go, to be honest. But let's look at the optimistic side. I learned all my mistakes and all my lessons from that part of my career. I don't believe you can learn anything without failing. So we all learn from our mistakes as we go along.
I'm heading over to Java Republic, the coffee roasting company. They've been a customer of ours now since, I think, 2006. We would have added a lot of other technology to the solution over the years to assist them with field salespeople and service engineers, and then assist with the whole tracking of the manufacturing process as well.
So how many cups of coffee have we got going on?
So we have about 50 beans in every cup of coffee.
Most companies will put in lots of different applications as they grow. And then what we do is we come in and we take all those applications and put in one and make all the rest of them redundant so that you've got one application to manage your entire business.
What we're doing is we've created a mobile version.
Okay.
And it's offline capable.
Great.
Run on any device.
Okay.
Morgan took the big leap from employee to employer when he took over IIS in 2008, just as the recession was beginning to bite.
But do we need that for...
I didn't really have a failure mentality about it. The sleepless nights in the run-up to it were about excitement. We were delighted to be doing it. I'm not 100% happy with that. It's only a bit of a discussion document. No one saw the economic crash, and I guess after that, That's when the sleepless nights came, from stress and pressure. You know, nobody's going to invest 100,000 euros in an application when they're letting people go. So we quickly went into survival mode. Well, we looked at the UK market. The recession wasn't biting as bad over there, so we literally hopped on a plane, went over, did what we could, and really just put our heads down and just battled through.
At the end of the day, they're the buyers, you know, they're the ones that we need to target.
Morgan's dad, Richard, gave him his first job and now is employed by his son.
It's just understanding the message that the new brand is going to bring and how we get that message out there.
I think ultimately Richard's the quintessential relationship salesperson. Gets in, gets to know you, understands what you need, builds up trust and confidence, and then people want to engage.
Someone gets in beside you. We've always had a very open relationship and a friendship. And as a result of that, we've been able to work together without the teenage foibles that sort of enter relationships and spoil them for a number of years. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
Very proud of the man, you know, very proud of his accomplishments.
Sort of bloody depressed. It's a very lonely journey, and nobody fully understands what it is you're doing and what challenges you're faced with on a day-to-day basis. But still, it's still nice to have somebody who understands some elements of what's happening to you along the way.
At 880 a day.
The nominees in this year's EY Entrepreneur of the Year competition often demonstrated an entrepreneurial streak early in life. Beyond the competition, encouraging young people to consider a career in business is important for us all. Schieffer Ryan is one of a legion of young people out there willing to take to the battlefield with ideas worth nurturing.
My favourite pastime is playing camogie. So I looked at what problems I've gone through in the past, and injury was one thing that was huge for me. So I invented a hurling boot, essentially. The hurlers are wearing a boot that's designed for soccer. Last year alone, 11% of all injuries in hurling were actually ankle related. So on Chunker, the boot, it contains inbuilt ankle support for those twists and turns, and also a shock absorbent insole for when a hurler jumps up to catch a ball.
Embracing the challenge and trusting their own resilience can be learned, like so many other skills entrepreneurs rely on to follow their path. And it's never too soon to start.
An entrepreneur is a risk taker, somebody who has the instincts, whether they're young or old, to take a calculated risk, to live with the consequences of that risk, to sleep at night as a result of taking that decision.
And it's not easy, but actually when you realise when you take your first risk, the second risk becomes even easier, and so on and so forth.
What we need to do for young people is, rather than talking about things, actually do them, whether it's projects in the classroom or take summer jobs, to actually find what you like. That's the most important thing.
Entrepreneur Stephen Grant has gone from big idea to business with several patents himself. And sharing experiences like his is invaluable to first-timers like Schieffer.
They're obviously the prototype that were made in Galway, so hopefully get into manufacturing and try and get out into the market for hurlers.
Have you any plans on that, how you take it to market if it's successful in
exactly,
the field
yeah.
trials?
Yeah.
Literally field trials. I think young people like Schieffer Ryan are coming up with good ideas, like the boot she's developing. And even if that isn't ever a major market success, it's a major learning curve for a young person like that to learn real world skills in manufacturing and marketing and development of products.
At just 30 years of age, Irishman Paul Kenny is a leading business figure in the Middle East and a passionate advocate of young entrepreneurs.
When you have a passion for something and you want to build something big, you'll be surprised at how many people will surround you and come and work with you to help you fill that passion.
The best thing about the young entrepreneurs, I think it's just the openness and the honesty is absolutely stunning, and they make some really intelligent judgments quickly because they don't really care too much what you think. And that's great. They're not hedging their bets, they're playing it straight down the line.
I think the instincts of entrepreneurship in young people are fashioned and improved and accelerated by having clear role models and paving the way for the future, where much more of our Irish students and primary school kids will think about entrepreneurship as a real career opportunity.
Brandtone was founded in 2009 by Padraig McBride and Donald Fitzmaurice. The company specialises in connecting major global brands with consumers in emerging markets.
The world is becoming smaller in terms of telecommunications, in terms of travel. It's a global marketplace now, and the opportunities associated with that are fantastic. We've got our head office in Dublin, and we're in 9 overseas markets: South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Brazil, Colombia, India, China, Indonesia. We've also got an Asian hub in Hong Kong, and we're in the process of pushing into Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam.
Brandtone is a marketing services company, bringing big brands and consumers together through mobile phone usage.
So just talk me through then the latest sort of user experience.
When a consumer goes into a store and buys a bag of washing powder for one of our clients, they open the bag and they find a code inside and they message that code into us. We ask them 3 or 4 questions. And then we say, do we have your permission to store and use your data? And if they say yes, we do. And if they say no, we don't.
This is what they're using to train the sales reps.
If you run a typical marketing campaign, a newspaper ad or a radio ad, it's a once-off. But what we're trying to do is the asset of the database that we build in the background, we can continue to use that database to develop that relationship between the consumer and the brand. You're going to go to Indonesia over the next 2 weeks. We don't have an issue. We don't have an option, right?
Our objective over the next 3 years is to have a profile of 120 million principal purchasers of consumer goods. Then we will have 1 in 10 households in the world on our database.
Donald and Padraig first met as students in Trinity College. Padraig subsequently worked in telecoms, while Donald became an academic.
You know, it's kind of a respectable form of gambling, right? You know, you don't know for sure it's going to work. You've done all your analysis and all the rest, but then you get out there, you build the product, and you run your first campaign in South Africa, right? And you're literally sitting there on the computer screen watching it happen out there and wondering if in 2 days' time you'll be saying this just didn't work, we're out of business, or, you know, we really have something here to build on. And, you know, it's a real buzz.
There's no 9-to-5 jobs in the world of entrepreneurship. You're working long nights, many weekends, and that's what it takes.
Anybody that tells you that they grew a business over the last 5 years in Ireland without difficult moments is, frankly, not being honest.
Sometimes we get 2 or 3 successful days in a row, and I say to Padraig, that means we're due now 300 days of rubbish. You keep going and you get to the next milestone and you have a success.
Denise Stormy began her career with digital in Galway before setting her sights on her own business. Planet 21 integrates the IT infrastructure of large corporations, from the revenue commissioners in Ireland to US multinationals like Facebook.
We design, implement and support IP networking, data centre and storage, telephone, video, Wi-Fi over IP. So anything in that's really our space. We were established in 1998. We had no mortgages, we had no spouse, we hardly had a car between us, so we had all the time in the world just to put into it, you know. We had lots of ambition, we had drive, we never even thought that we wouldn't succeed. Honestly, I don't know why, but you know, God bless youth.
Denise is a chip off the old entrepreneurial block. Her dad owns a sawmill in Mount Bellew in Galway.
So my dad would have supplied most of this timber that we see here. It's all oak. They've restored it as if the Normans were here, and it's the testament of time. It's very, very strong, and it's looking well. Dad started up the sawmill back in the early 80s. It was a serious risk, 4 young children. Yeah, serious hats off to him.
She got a fair bit from Dad, unfortunately. Yeah, And ma'am, I presume as well.
I'm the oldest of 7. 5 out of 7 of us ended up in IT in some aspect or other. We're very close family.
Now, Denise,
how's it going?
You take over.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to tell me how much timber is in them planks.
Oh my God.
My God. So you start measuring. Probably 2 words that describe Denise is the desire to succeed and stop at nothing to get it. Determination. Yeah, that is the word.
Planet 21 expanded rapidly, and in order to be close to their Fortune 100 US clients, Denise moved to Silicon Valley. But home is where the heart is, and she returns regularly to catch up with family and friends.
You know, is it a different sort of environment in Silicon Valley to what you would have been used to seeing?
So much faster. Much faster.
In terms of decision making?
Decision making, pace of life, all of that. Even so, women in tech in Silicon Valley, there aren't too many of us. I would say we're definitely in the minority, possibly less than 5%.
It's a risk going to San Francisco.
Yeah.
The risk.
I've never, thankfully, experienced the glass ceiling. Never thought there wasn't anything I couldn't do. Would be a big fan of Granuaile, so.
Married to Barry and with 3 children, uprooting to San Francisco may have been practical, but it wasn't easy for Denise.
From a personal point of view, it was a huge decision. Obviously, we were going to miss out all of this Irish cultural stuff. Since we left, we've missed Barry's brother's wedding. There was nearly divorce. Cathal had a tough enough time settling into school. We nearly had to abort mission. There was six weeks of tough time there, and but apart from that, we're treating it as an adventure, and it's good. Or else catch it like this. Oh, good girl. It's very important that they know where they're from, who they are. I'd like them to be able to play a game of hurling too, but yeah. We're taking it as it comes, but yeah, eventually, yeah, absolutely, we'll be home for sure. On Theo, defend it.
Next week's nominees for EY Entrepreneur of the Year are a surgeon turned inventor making waves in hip surgery, a young engineer digging deep in Belfast, a Dubliner playing to win, a man with a passion for opening bills, and a Westmeath dad dedicated to all things green.